Here we go. Here we go. Here we go. We back at it again. Salute to all the subscribers, the fans, the supporters out there. We here with a battle rap legend. Y'all know what it is, man. We got Debo in the building with
Yeah.
today, man. Well, today is Blank Man.
I got all types of names on here, Knowledge. You know what it is. I'm a comedian. Um,
um, First off, I
Thank
just
you,
want
man,
to
for
say,
calling me a legend, man. I appreciate that, man. I don't really, I don't know. I think I'm a guy that just tries to help out, man.
I mean, listen, Queen of the Ring, like I said, man, just an integral part of the culture. We got to see the women shine the brightest, you know what I'm saying, over the weekend.
Yes, yes.
So we got to attribute it to what you, Babs, and Vague have, put on for so many years. So, I got to address it accordingly, man. And you still continuing to work, man. You still putting in work. You still supporting the culture at a high level. So,
Yes, which confuses a lot of people, but you know, I guess
yeah, I'm going to do it at Apollo, working Apollo like he work every other event.
Say it again. You was coming in and out. I hear you.
I was like, when I saw you this weekend, I was shocked because I was like, what is Debo doing out here working Apollo like he does with URL or any other league that's usually thrown an event? You played the same role.
Same role, same role. Um, well, shout out to TBL, man. That's Takeover Battle League. A lot of people don't know. I put up on Twitter. Relationships are everything, and I have a relationship with TBL. I know Kenny for like over 3 years and stuff, man, and all the staff over there too. Shout out to them as well, because I don't want to miss no names, so I'll just put them as total. They're real good staff, real good people, which is even more important. And yeah, a lot of them from Rhode Island, man, from New England. So you can see the chiller connection, if you will. So I'm trying to disconnect the dots for some people because you know uh, the guy that runs it, his name is Kenny, owns it. Pretty sure. He don't like to show his face. He's a humble cat. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
He keep y'all guessing. So you know, I guess so. So my thing is, I've been around those cats for over 3 years, and they've always shown me love. You know what I'm saying? And I put a clip up there where Couture was battling on a league, and she called me to come out, and I was right there holding her down, 10 toes. So after that battle, during, before, and after, they've always showed me love and shit, even beyond that. So I wanted to show them some love, and go out there and pretty much hold them down for that whole event. And I'm not gonna act like I didn't want to be there. Obviously, I wanted to be there. It was a big ass event. It was dope. You know what I'm saying? I think that card was, that 2 day event was like one of the biggest cards in battle rap history to me. You know
I
what I'm saying?
agree.
And I've been around for a long time. And since I knew them, I said, yo, why not go, help out and shit like that? You know what I'm saying? So me and Kenny, mutually agreed. Yo, let me come out there and do my shut the fuck up thing and move people around. He's like, I definitely, is an honor for me, for have me, have you there. So I was like, I'm there.
Um, Being there this weekend, man. I want to just get your experience, your recap of the event as a whole. I know you were working, you was making sure everybody was good, but I know you got a chance to catch some of these battles and enjoy these moments, especially the ladies when it came to the ladies. So give me your 2 day breakdown of this Apollo card, Debo.
Yo, listen, man. I'm not gonna give you the long answer. I'm going. I'm going. I'm going to keep it short and sweet, man. It was a beautiful 2 day event, man. It was one of the best events I've been around in years. You understand? I had so much fun, even though I was running around doing the Debo thing and stuff. You know, um, I'm very observant. I was hearing the bars. I was there for a couple of those battles, like you said, and it was just a good time had by everybody. Not just the battle rappers or the fans, but just the staff, the media, from yourself to 15 Minutes of Fame. Everybody was having a good old time, man. So I would, out of 1 out of 10, 10 being the best, I would say for the good time quality, man, I would definitely, I would go with a 9.8. You know what I'm
Wow.
saying? 9.8 on that. As far as the battles and stuff like that, I would give it a good 8. I would give it, 7.8 to an 8. There was a couple of slip ups here and there, but I don't think it was that to a point where anybody could say the battles weren't good. The battles were great, actually. You know what I'm
Yeah.
saying? Everybody put on. And the thing is, knowledge is that it was really no politics or nobody, pressuring anybody to do anything. Everybody just wanted to help all across the board to make that event the best it could be. And I shout out, like I said, shout out to TBL because, you know, to have an event of that magnitude and be, up and coming league, pretty much they haven't put on anything to this significance. I think they did a great job in how they handled it,
Right.
and that just cements on saying for doing that much of a great job, they're here to stay. And
I
they
agree.
they made that event what it was, man. And once again, short and sweet answer. Everybody had a great time. It was a great event.
Just to add to what you're saying, last year they also had, potential event of the year, if not event of the year, with
Yeah,
Massacre,
with
a
Massacre
2-day
Six.
event.
Yeah.
So
Mm-hmm.
for them to follow up with this event and even more battlers, even bigger than what they did with Massacre, I definitely agree with your analysis on the event, man. It was really a success. And one key thing you said that I really, think is important, it was no politics. Everybody was able to come in and just do what they do in the benefit of the culture. And I think that was a major key because I feel like battle rap throughout the years with the relationships, with how cool people done got, and the status that people done rose in their levels, it's
Uh-huh.
created a lot of politics. You know what I'm
Uh-huh.
saying? It has created a lot of like energy where it's like sometimes you might not feel welcomed, or you might feel like you're intruding, or
Right.
maybe you're not even wanted. You
Right.
know?
This league don't fuck with that league. This battle rapper don't fuck with that battle rapper. This entourage don't fuck. You know what I'm saying? Everybody didn't come there for that. Everybody came there to have a good ass time. You feel what I'm saying? And that's like I said, that's what was had. And you would think with the Averb thing hovering over everybody and shit that it would be a bunch of bullshit going on, which it wasn't. You know what I'm saying? It was a lot of peace going on in there and whatnot. So, I was glad for that as well because at any given time, man, the right person would come in on some timing and shit would go left, and it didn't.
And it's interesting you mentioned that because I think that was also a topic even last night. Verb, I did an interview with Verb, and Verb said, "I'm in here with all my enemies, and nothing went down." And I seen some mixed reactions to that. I seen some people was like, "Man, nobody was on that type of time." But to allude to what you were saying, Verb did have some a back and forth with Hitman, with Geechee, where it could have got physical. Him and Av, him and Swamp, words have been exchanged. Even Verb himself admitted that I don't know what type of time these guys are on. I don't know. I'm taking it to the highest level of seriousness because I don't know. Like, as far as I know, I've said things and I know things can happen. So I came in there with the energy where things can go left. But to even see that was like just peaceful, and everybody, just like you said, everybody just came and handled their business and enjoyed themselves, partied the next day and everything.
Yeah, it went from having a fade up the block around the corner. I'm gonna see you with this and this argument and that argument. You know what I'm saying? And the common denominator was Verb in a lot of issues. But as you could see, the aftermath of such was null and void. I mean, nothing was there to nobody took a swing at Verb, vice versa. None of that. Verb did come on some piece shit, and at the end of the day, I think I seen a comment where people were saying your Av stepped to his business and press Verb and all that shit, man. Listen, man. We ain't come for all that, man. At the end of the
Yeah.
day, what he did or what he didn't, I'm pretty sure they spoke to the side like men, and then it wasn't an issue because they both were still in the building at the same time, you
Yes.
know, and everybody went about their business. Nobody came there for the BS, man. That's all I was saying. And whether each parties are putting on a front ego wise or saying, "Oh, all my enemies was here and nothing happened," or "Yo, I pressed Verb and this is what," you know what I'm saying. At the end of the day, man, what was the end result? The end result was everybody left home, what I'm saying, with all their extremities and their mind, body, and soul intact. So, why even talk about it?
And we had a wonderful time. Like, I really don't want to understate how fun I had fun. Like, I legit from day one I didn't get to see much battles because I was really trying to just get the information out there. But day two, I told myself like, nah, I'm catching these joints.
Right,
I need to see
right.
those battles, and man, I had a good time. I want
You
to
know,
ask you, what were some of the enjoyable battles that you got the chance to even watch to see, just so we could highlight the artists, man, who really did their thing over the weekend?
Oh, no, that's a fact. Real Sick versus Ilmac. I love that battle.
Amazing.
Hey, I love Snake Eyes and Capo, and that started the whole event. You know,
Fire.
sometimes how you start the event is how the event is gonna go throughout the day,
Yes.
and both of those cats put on, man, with the drama on top of it. You know what I'm saying? That was a little scuffle. You know how Snake Eyes do, man. That's
Yeah.
a Snake Eyes thing.
And
You know,
it
I had
was
to
a
tell the rest of the
thousand dollars
security.
on the line.
Right,
It
I had
was
to
the
tell
only
the rest
judge
of the
battle.
security, don't worry about them, man. They're gonna be all right. Let them go, let them go. You can hear my voice. I say, yo, let them go, man. They doing that, yo, you know what I'm saying? Same thing with the Nitty and Daylight, man. Let them, they ain't doing nothing, man. They
Right.
good, man. They good. You can hear my voice. You know what I'm
Yeah.
saying?
Let it get a little edgy, right?
Right. Let it get a little edgy. This is battle rap. This is what it's about, yeah.
Right.
So Casey and J Love,
Man.
fire battle. You know what I'm saying? Hey, official versus Chirac, we know that. Fire battle. Come on, come on. I like I don't want to say it was Danny. Who
And
Danny
Quest,
battle? Danny and Quest. Oh my God.
amazing.
I was there for that. Like,
That's probably one of my
woo.
favorite battles of the weekend, to be honest. Just me personally.
Right, right. Yeah, I like that Eunice kid, man. You know what I'm saying? Eunice battled correct me if I'm wrong, because I'm old, man. I can't put it all together and shit.
Eunice battled because I didn't see that battle. That was a day one battle. Eunice battle. Who Eunice battle? I'm tripping right now.
Was it Pass?
Yes, that's
It was
exactly who he battled.
Pass. It was the legend.
That's
Shout out to
exactly who
Pass.
he battled. Pass.
Fire. Fire. I loved it. You know, we could go down the list, man. It's pretty much yo, man. I
Let,
like
let me ask you these battles specifically.
right.
Two of the top females in the game: Hustle versus Real Deal, and then Jazz and Hollow. I want to get your perspective because they also got a little feud going on. So I
Right.
wanted to get your perspective on their battles over the
I
weekend.
think I think they both won their battles. I think Hustle won. She beat Real Deal, and I think Jazz. Not think I know Jazz beat Hollow. You know, so yo man, listen. One thing about Jazz and Hustle, they evolve every year into great competitors, great verbal athletes. You know, they study their craft, man. They take this shit serious, man, because they competitors. They don't want to L under their belt, and they take these battles very seriously. And these were milestone battles. A lot of people would say probably like the Hustle versus Real Deal wasn't significant. Yo, you don't know your battle rap because Real Deal is a super duper legend. You understand what I'm saying?
I agree.
I remember when he came into URL and Battle B Magic and got super crazy. You understand? Like Real Deal is a legend. I like the style clash between him and Hustle. He was definitely putting in work and putting in that pain versus Hustle and shit like that. But ultimately, Hustle won that battle. When it comes to Jazz, milestone, like it's a footnote in her career. You understand? To battle a super duper top tier such as Hollow the Dawn, that did it or not. You feel what I'm saying?
And Hollow was fire too.
Hollow was fire, crazy. A lot of people probably didn't catch what Hollow was saying, but it's in that third round. He was getting busy. But Jazz, man, she's a student of the game, that turned into a master. Like, come on. She's the angle goddess. Like, you feel what I'm saying? Like she been angling since a kid. And
Right.
and that takes a lot of time and preparation and research and study and knowing what's what, and you can't miss a beat on one thing, or everything would just crumble, you know what I'm saying, under that round. So the shit she was saying was just like breaking. When you battle Jazz the Rapper, it's like you ever I don't know, you probably too young. There was a show called This Is Your Life. And they bring out all the people in your life and shit that was back then, your teachers, your old best friend, your uncle from back then and shit like that. And they'll like flash your whole life in front of you. When you battle Jazz the Rapper, it's damn near like just flashing your whole life or your whole battle career in front of you and shit like that. Like she'll break it down from
Man,
A to Z, and you like, damn, I did that. Like, yeah,
she
So.
definitely didn't hold no punches with Hollow. She went at him full force.
Mhm. And
She
and the crazy thing about Jazz is her performance game got way better too. She's more aggressive, more physical. Like as far as moving her hands and pretty much her facial move. Like you know how she'll hit a line, and her facial movements would be like, with that line hit, she'll know what to do. So pretty much, man, like I said, she's a student of the game that became a master, and that right there just showed everybody what it was.
Let me ask you this question, right? I had a friend who hit me up yesterday, and I want to ask you the question he asked me. He said, "What is going on with the females where they're like looking like they're better than the dudes?" Because he watched the event, and he was like, "Yo, Jazz," and he was like, "Yo, all the girls is like low key either beating the dudes or having better performances. Like the game changed." And I'm like, "Yo, the girls always been tough," but he said, "I've never seen to this level where the girls are outperforming the men on this level." From him watching this event over the weekend. So he was just asking me, and I was like, I didn't really have a true answer to give him. I was like, they just elevating their game. But I want to ask you that same question.
It's the hunger, because I'm not taking away nothing from the dudes. They pens. They're not downgrade. They're not going downhill. They're still competing on a high level.
Yes.
But hunger is an attribute that you got to have to take it one step further, and that's one thing these ladies have that's really on their game, is that hunger. They see it, they want it, they want to be competitive. And I'm not saying, like, because I don't want to take away nothing what these dudes do, or take away nothing what these ladies are doing. um in battle rap, man, you got to be a strong competitor. You got to eat shit, sleep, battle rap. And when
Right.
these ladies, when these ladies get their announcements announced, and and it's on go time, they sitting down writing the best shit possible, man, and just pouring their whole passion into what they doing, and I would just pretty much say that's it. Like, these dudes, they hungry, they got their pen, but I guess they don't. I guess some would probably have lost the meaning of how hungry. You know what I'm saying? Like, yo, I want this. Like, this is what it is. You feel what I'm saying?
Right. Right.
They gotta want it, man. You know what I'm saying? I can't take that away from no man nor woman. Because gender based, a lot of people see battle rap as far as when they come with genders and shit. Like, the women are soft, like they bars, they soft. They, what I'm saying, they bars, like they not as hard as the dudes. So that's bullshit. You know what I'm saying? You're just looking at the gender as opposed to hearing the bars and the material that's in front of you. You understand? So how can you judge with that? You're not really being mindful of that. You know what I'm saying? Like, it's not about the gender, it's about the bars. You feel me?
Right.
So
Um, and I gotta say, just to add on, is I don't think these guys are taking it easy on them either. You
they're
know what I'm
not.
saying?
That's what I'm saying. They're not. They're not.
Yeah.
See, probably back then, it's like, I'm gonna go a little bit. Right when they started seeing them kicking their ass left and right, they was like, nah, fuck this shit. I ain't losing to such and such. So
Right.
they've been coming. They get crazy, and I think the material that Hollow had was some of the best material I've heard from Hollow in a long time. You understand? He knew who Jazz the rapper was. He knew how she was coming
Right.
to fight and whatnot. And some opponents that you have is hard to write for, or you have to make sure you're saying the right thing. That's why I said I don't take nothing away from Hollow, because his third was crazy. Some things was going over a lot of people's heads. If you really listen to what Hollow was saying, you know what I'm saying, he's putting his pen down crazy and shit like that.
Amazing.
Y'all looking for that? If y'all looking for the the generator and the incubator, for refrigerator and the escalator, Hollow. Nah, you know what I'm saying? Hollow grew too. His pen is growing too. He's saying some shit. You really gotta
Right.
fucking listen.
I
But
agree.
Jazz's passion, her aggression, and the bars that she was saying was just
Oh,
so crazy. Everything just fused into one, and like, woo!
she had
You
one
feel
of the
me?
best performances of the weekend. I gotta I just didn't expect her to go that crazy. She was glowing in that
Right.
battle. I'm not gonna lie. She
Yo,
had that.
You know what's crazy? Because I tell her all the time, like, every time I see her and shit, like, she is my legacy. You know what I'm saying? Like, I
Mm,
literally discovered Jazz the rapper. You know what I'm saying? Where she wasn't even trying to battle rap. I made her into a battle rapper. And I'm
that's
not
crazy.
saying that to say, oh, look at me, shit like that. I'm saying, wow, look at what she did for me. You feel what I'm saying? Like, she proved me right. Like, I told her, no, you a battle rapper. Yo, come over here and try this. Trust me, you got, shorty, you nice. You know what I'm saying? For her taking that drive from Brooklyn, well, on the train rather, for 2 hours going from Brooklyn to the Bronx, because she live in Canarsie, all the way up to the top of the Bronx, where we at and shit. That's a 2 hour ride, and you know what I'm saying? Ooh, ooh, we. And OMP and them could have just deaded the whole session. Like, yo, all the girls canceled. They didn't come. She's the only one that came. They'd be like, yo, fuck it. We'll catch you next time. Shorty, nah. They put her on the spot and let her rock. And she rocked. And I've been having to catch that. And I
Right.
was like, yo, she's dope. I gotta find where the fuck she, you know what I'm saying? Where she at? Where she come from? That was the
Right.
MySpace days. So in the MySpace days, you know what I'm saying? I reached out and, and pretty much that's when I was starting to do Queen of the Ring. And yo, man, she answered the call. She was apprehensive for a hot minute, but when she said, fuck it, man, I'm gonna just do it. Let me do it. And rock out, and I gave her the open lane and as made her as much as comfortable as possible to, be who she is, which is Jazz the Rapper. Only thing she needed is the platform. Everything else is her taking it from there.
Right.
And she's a big part of my legacy and whatnot. I've helped produce the biggest battle rapper, one of the biggest battle rappers in battle rap history. Not
Right.
just female battle rappers. No,
Right.
let's not say
Right.
female battle rappers no more. She battled Hollow, Rum Nitty, Geechee, Twerk,
Clips.
Charlie Clips. Like I could, those are five greats that a lot of battle rappers that's hot
Right.
today don't get to battle.
Right.
You understand what I'm saying? And they're
Right.
not battling her because she's little sis. They're battling her because she's just the fucking rapper, nigga.
Right. Right.
She put on. You know what I'm
Hmm.
saying?
And
So
it's not like, and it's like arguably beat almost all of them.
to me, she beat all of them. Fuck out of here. Arguably, she beat all of them to me.
Hey man, she put on, you know what I mean? So
Yeah,
I
yeah,
agree. Um,
yeah.
now the reason I want to stay on this jazz subject real quick is after that battle, she calls out Murder Mook. You know what I'm saying? She's calling out like she's like, yo, at this point, I need the other, the other god tier battle rappers. And it looked like Mook from the live I seen with him and Rosenberg Raw and all of them they was doing. It looked like he's accepting the challenge. Like he's looking at Jazz like, oh yeah, this is gonna have to go down. And I kind of feel like Jazz is somewhat like in a sense of like the female Mook in a sense like that. Just my opinion. People probably have said it before, but I feel like just their styles is similar. The hunger, the
See, but
passion.
you got it. You got it. You're not saying nothing wrong. You're
Right,
100% right. It's
right.
like Jean Grey versus Professor X, bro. Yo, this shit is gonna be on such a cerebral level, people are not gonna get it. It might turn out to be a fucking boring battle because they're gonna be saying so much shit that's gonna be like, you know what I'm saying? They angles are gonna
Yeah,
be so intricate and so
yeah.
like detailed and layered and shit like that. People are, I haven't told them. I'm gonna tell them now on this right here. I say, yo, make sure whatever venue or battle league gets that battle,
Hmm.
that it's the right place to make sure that you can get your shit off. Because what she did with Hollow was perfect. People would listen to it. They was listening. You feel what I'm
Hmm.
saying? I love that pit style shit. You know what I'm saying? I love the big stage. I love the ring, obviously. You know what I'm
Hmm.
saying? I love that pit style shit too. Shout out to Avo. That might be
Right.
the place to motherfucking do it at. But I'm trying to tell you, I don't want to see Jazz versus Boo on no big stage. Because
Okay.
these are bars to have to listen to. These are things like this is a master class that both of them are gonna put on because I think both of their battle rap IQs is on a high, super duper level. So
Right.
for that to even get announced, for them to even have to put that pen to that paper and be like, I'm battling Mook, I'm battling Jazz the Rapper. Now you're talking, what angle am I gonna come with? How am I
Right.
gonna approach this? How am I gonna talk to her? Am I gonna be aggressive towards her? Am I gonna be mild? Am I gonna just, school on this or do this? Or she's like, how am I gonna approach Mook? Do I break down his whole career? Do I
Hmm.
do this? Do I say that? You know what I'm saying? So it's all about approach on how they approach this shit. Telling you, all three rounds are gonna be 7 to 8 minutes long. I promise you, on each side,
Damn.
and you gonna love it.
Nah, I agree. I know I'm one of them dudes that sat there and watched Mook rap for like 25 minutes straight and didn't
Listen,
get bored.
Mook as he's a great, but he could be an acquired taste for a lot of people sometimes too. You feel what I'm
Okay.
saying? Because he don't give a fuck about your reaction. Mook
Yeah.
don't cares about your reaction. Mook cares about getting those bars off, and either you'll catch it later or you love it now, however it is. But he feel like he's the greatest of all time, and that's how you should feel. You feel me? I remember there was a time when they said Jazz was boring and shit like that, and oh, she don't do this, that. You know what I'm saying? And then she switched it up, put this here, applied this here, and shit like that. And now she's just kicking ass all over the place. Not saying she wasn't kicking ass before, but at the end of the day, she's seen what it was. Like I said, she's a student of the game, and she applied some things in her repertoire and got busy. You feel me?
I did a interview with J Love over the weekend, and she said some. She said this about jazz. She said ever since jazz got more active in the last 3 4 years, she said it's changed the game for female battle rap. I want to know what your thoughts on J Love saying that about jazz.
I agree. Um, it changed the game as saying we need our top tier, you know what I'm saying, ladies to be out there to inspire other people. You understand? I think jazz is in the forefront of that. I think hustle's in the forefront of that as well because we cannot say hustle's not out here getting super duper busy
Super
multiple
duper
times.
busy.
Right. Shout out to the Vixens of the world. Shout out to the E Hearts of the world. You feel me?
Coffee.
Right. Coffee, 40 bars of the world. Like they're
Hmm.
out there multitude of times getting on platforms and just getting busy. So you got can't just say jazz alone, but as though I understand what J Love is saying, because jazz used to just come out every once in a while, but now that you see her more times than less, it's more of an inspiration, whether you're a battle rapper or not, to see jazz. You know what I'm saying? It's uplifted not only the female game, but battle rap period. You know what I'm saying? You need your warriors out there to get busy and show what it is. And here's the best part about it. She's out there more than less, but she's out there at a high level. She's competing. She's putting up points on the board. You understand? She's doing everything to help, you know what I'm saying, her team, which is battle rap overall and whatnot. She's not half-assing it. To do the shit that Jazz does, man, it's just crazy. It's not just the raps, bro. I'm trying to try to, you know what I'm saying, convey this to you. It's not just the raps, man. It's the intelligence on where the raps came from, how it was tailored and stuff not. Because it's not just a 1 2 3 4 punch. You know what I'm saying? It's a lot of things in her tool belt that she's using to make this shit
Hmm.
what it is. You understand?
I feel like Jazz, because she's been in so many battles, watched so many battles. She's like one of the most like like one of the best students of the game, I would say. Like
Mm-hmm.
because she studied everybody, like just watching the game for so
Mm-hmm.
long. When she finally was like, you know what, I'm about to go all out, she's using everything she's ever learned to break down her opponents every single time. It's like she knows your history better than most. And that's when you can tell when she gets in the ring with her opponent, the way she breaks them down, the way she knows exactly how to attack.
Here's the thing that the ladies have over the guys, which 100% I feel is accurate. A lot of the ladies are themselves. They don't really copycat off of each other per se, or nor do they copycat off of the guys a lot. You feel what I'm saying? Some might kind of come in with that, but they flesh their shit out to be actually who they supposed to be, which is themselves and shit like that. I'm pretty sure, say like a Jazz would be a big fan of Conceited or a Cassie and shit, but ultimately she became Jazz the rapper. You know what I'm saying? Her own person and whatnot. So a lot of the ladies have their own characteristics, their own thing, which makes them stand out a lot. Because throughout the years, women's battle rap, like a battle, you get a female battle on a male dominated card. A lot of the times, the ladies will come out on top as the game changer or the saviors of that card. You feel me?
Right. Uh, Let me ask this. Miss Hustle, on the other hand, she's also like, I feel like we could give her the same kind of like accolade and respect that we're giving Jazz because she's actually never taken a break. She's always kind of been actively battling and fighting and doing everything she's doing. She recently just had a crazy battle with Hitman, you know what I'm saying, and things like that. What do you think about just her legacy and what she's able to bring in the last few years, just really taking it to that level and battling all the guys and you know what I'm saying, doing what she's been doing?
When it comes to hustle, man, she's evolving every battle, man. I'm very happy she's gotten that Hitman battle off her bucket list. You know what I'm saying? That's something she wanted for years, and she didn't. She came, saw, and conquered. Because I literally thought she won that battle. You know what I'm saying? So um, I can't say enough about Hustle when it comes to this battle rap shit, man. One thing I could tell you about Hustle, if anything, she can battle rap. You know,
Yes.
she definitely getting busy in that ring and whatnot, man. And the more she evolved, the better it is for herself and the game, to be honest with you, because a lot of ladies out there are inspired by Hustle. Hustle is their top person that, that they fuck with, because she's putting in work and doing it at a high level and not, never disappointing really, you know what I'm saying? So, you can't say enough about her when it comes to that, man. Which is another one I put time and effort into as far as her career. When she first started out, I was there and whatnot, and just help curating a little bit of her career and stuff like that. And she took it upon herself to be as great as she is now and shit like that. Where this, and I'm gonna just say this. This is what I could define Hustle as. When it comes to work ethic in the women's community and shit, I don't think nobody has an iller work ethic than Hustle. You know what I'm saying? And that's real shit.
Now, the epic clash between Hustle and Jazz, I wanted to, close it all out with them two because,
Hmm.
there's like, there's this tension brewing between these two because they're like the top of the game. Granted, salute to all the other E Hearts and everybody else who put in. But when it comes to Hustle and Jazz, they're like two of the most popular, biggest stars when it comes to
Hmm.
the female battle rap. What is it, what do you think it's going to take to get to see him? Because Hustle, every time I talk to her, it's like it's on Jazz. Jazz, the one who's kind of running scared and who's, creating all these things. She's ready to go every time. And Jazz is, Jazz like, yo, I got Mook on the table. Or I got this. And like, I don't mind her. I ain't scared of
See,
Hustle. But
this is both what I think. As far
right,
as Jazz and Hustle, I think they're both at a top level. None could say anything down towards the other because Jazz getting hollow to dawn. Hustle's getting Hitman Hollow. You know
right.
what I'm saying? So it's like we here when it comes to that. Um, it's a good storyline. They battled before. We all know that.
Mm-hmm.
And they evolved to the height of this, where they're 10 times better than what they were when they battled. So whole lot of shenanigans was happening back then when that battle and shit like that. It wasn't as great as people wanted to be
Right,
as far as the outcome of the whole battle. So they're saying now is the time. So all it takes is a bag and a place,
right.
and two willing participants to be like, yeah, I'll battle her right now. You feel what I'm saying? So let's see if it happens. Hopefully it can happen. I think that's one of the biggest battles, if not the biggest battle, with top five battles for 2025 that should be happening. You know, it should
Mega
be.
match.
It should
Mega
be
match.
happening. You know what's crazy, man? These ladies is really kicking ass. I just sat here and what I'm saying. I heard what you said earlier, but it's really sinking in now to be like, yo, they are really kicking these dudes' asses. You know what I'm
I
saying?
agree.
And I'm very happy about that, man. And you know, I'm going to toot my own horn real quick. I put in a lot of work for that to happen,
No,
and it's great that it is happening because that just shows that women are just as good with a pen and performing as these dudes are. And I might be long gone from now and shit, but 2038 come around. Hopefully, there still be ladies putting in work and getting busy. You know what I'm saying? And that's what I laid out that plan for to want to see, whether it's on Queen of the Ring or not. You know what I'm saying? It needs to evolve all over the place.
listen, man, I've been in this culture 12 years. I haven't seen anybody who fought harder, took more shots. So, period. You know what I'm saying? So, definitely got to give you that credit. Um,
I appreciate it.
when you look at the TBL event, what's your thoughts on the event, the battle that everybody wanted to see, which was, of course, like, granted, the whole event was fire, a lot of dope battles, but everybody came to see Rum Nitty, the alien versus Daylight. You know what I'm saying? Quill.
Uh huh.
What was your thoughts on it? Did it live up to the hype? What was your perspective of that battle right there, man? These two juggernauts going at it.
I think it was a good battle. Other than what was self-explanatory, what was just obvious was the second round that they fumbled on. But, a lot of people are saying, "Yo, he did that on purpose. He did that on purpose."
Yeah,
Yo,
Daylight's that type
listen,
of guy, man.
I was sitting here thinking like, because I told Lux, I said, "Yo, you think he did that shit on purpose?" Lux said, "I don't know, man. You never know,
You
Debo."
never
I'm like,
know.
I was like, yo, because and this is why I say that, because he's always 10 steps ahead. So I'm thinking his first round, he's delivering a type of message,
Right.
because you using the word God and spiritual and higher power and all
Yes.
that.
Yeah.
So I'm thinking in the second round, he probably did that on purpose to resurrect in the third round and get crazy on the third round. So he's using more like a Jesus crucified angle, like I've been crucified by the game and the culture and all that, and
Yeah.
then he messes up, and that's his crucifixion type of thing where, okay, he got killed off, and now in the third round he's coming back crazy and shit like that. That's probably a narrative he could probably spin if he
Right.
wanted to
Yeah, the
say
comments are
something like
definitely
that.
gonna be like, "See, Debo, you drinking the Kool-Aid, man. Look
Right,
at you.
right,
Now you
right,
caught up
right,
too."
right. But
Yeah.
a choke is a choke. A choke is a choke nonetheless, and that's what he did. So at the end
He
of the
said
day,
he
man,
didn't. I did interview Daylight. He said I did not choke. I don't know what you call that.
I don't know what you call it, man, but that's my guy. But Nitty's my guy too. So when you put it all together, man, it was a good battle. It was a good battle. I think well, I said I got my money's worth. I ain't paid for shit, but
Yeah.
I enjoyed it. I was right there front and center. Me, Lux, Mook, everybody. We was right
Right.
there. So we was like, I seen Mook was like, they don't get it. They don't understand. When it
Yeah.
comes to daylight, he's like, he rapping. He rapping. I looked at Mook like, okay, I get it. He rapping. So yeah, man. But
Yeah.
the alien was, I love that approach that Rum did with the alien mask and
That
shit.
was so fire.
Rum is getting in a different bag, man. He's getting in a different bag because you never seen no other than the impression that he did about with Tay Rock and all that.
Right.
Rum is just trying different things, man, and that's what I love about Rum. He want to keep it fresh instead of just he don't want to be considered the punchline, what you call it, such and such.
Yeah.
He's coming with
Punchline
theatrics.
king.
Yeah, he's coming with theatrics now, and I'm guessing he did that due to the fact that he's dealing with a theatrical dude
Yeah.
such as Daylight and shit like that. So,
Right.
you
Right.
know, um, I think the fans are gonna enjoy it, man. I don't look too deep into the situation and shit like that. But I guess when it comes to Daylight, they're always looking deep into a situation.
I
You
agree.
know what I'm saying? But it was a
Who
good battle.
who did you have winning if you had a winner? Who'd you like better, or who you know what I mean? Who impressed you a little more that night?
Damn, man.
Keep it Debo, man. Keep it all the way 100.
No, I'm gonna explain to you like this. Uh, Understood where Daylight was going with those bars. Like it was very it was deep. It was definitely deep. He conveyed a message that I did, but in a battle rap sense, what I'm saying. I would say you would go for the Nitty 2-1.
Okay.
And Nitty was dumping. We're not gonna act like Nitty wasn't dumping. You understand? And it's okay to lose a battle. You know what I'm saying? Like it's not a big deal. You know. Hopefully, I won't lose a friendship with my boy over that by saying
For your opinion?
for my opinion with Daylight. But I don't think he care about no shit like that.
Yeah,
But
no.
yeah, if you're going battle rap standards and shit like that, like what I'm saying, oh, you choked in the second, so what I'm saying, because it was 1-1. To be honest with you, the second will go to Nitty. And I think the
Right.
third will go. I think the third will go to Daylight.
Mm-hmm.
So it's all about the first. So I'm gonna be
Right.
honest with you. I'm gonna take that back. Knowledge. I'm gonna have to really, because I wasn't paying attention to the first as much because I was really shutting up, having people shut the fuck up, take
Yeah, I
8 steps
remember.
back, all that other shit. The second and third, I was more into and whatnot. But yeah, I'm gonna have to look at that first, man.
All right,
I
we're
might
gonna
have
we're
to.
gonna let you live with that one, Debo. We're gonna
Yeah,
let you
let me
live
live with that. Let me live with that.
with